So just arriving at the field over here, so I passed by Dad on the way up. He was going back to get another trailer, so he seems to have gotten a good bit done. You might recognize this is the opening he did that time. He was putting up that gate there that's on the ground for getting in and out of. And so yeah, so I'm here, his combine parked there. So this field, for those of you who watched the video where I was talking about the price of fertilizer and what we sowed where, this is the field that we basically called it the tester field. So this field didn't get any fertilizer and didn't get any spray either, it wasn't sprayed. So this is the tester field. So he'll tell you a little bit more about how it's turning out. And yeah, I'll throw up the drone and show you a little bit of this.
Okay, radiator was all just blocked up with our shaft and everything, so we just give it a blow out from that side. It's very warm, I know. Pull out, Henry, and don't knock me. So, we'll have our breakdown vehicle out. And it's handy for doing just like this. So that's all. Hopefully it stays going. Okay, in the middle of the corn. Well, actually, hopefully tomorrow I should finish it, all goes to plan. A lot of little nitty gritty pits going around with the combine, slowing us down. And as well as that, then today is okay now, it's not that hot, but there was a couple of days there the combine was getting hot, so we had to rise out. This is the field that had we didn't burn this off with Roundup. Here on this side here, this grass, the grass came back up. Down there is perfect. So there was actually not too bad. Here I couldn't cut it as low because I was afraid I'd damage the blade. So this got no nitrogen, so it's yielding okay. It's a little bit less than the last two fields I've cut, but no, it's okay. I have to work out what the cost is now. With a little bit less grain and not using the fertilizer, was it worthwhile? But there's lots of straw. There's a good bit of straw. Now there's a good bit of straw. Now here on this end, as I said, has a bit of grass to it. Now I'll be able to bale that tomorrow. I won't be able to bale it this evening. Still a bit green. So we're not promised rain. We got rain the other day, and I had not much. But rain when you're at corn is like smoke to a bee. It kind of calms them down, because when it rains, you have no choice but to calm down and stop what you're at. So other than that, now if I get a good day tomorrow, I should be finished. If not, it goes into the next day. So yeah, the combine's not too bad. I should have probably spent a bit more time on it, but other than that, it's okay. So I'm moving on to the other field now, and hopefully get a good bit of that done this evening and finish that on another field tomorrow. So that'll do. Okay, heading back now to the other farm, or home farm, to get the green trailer, and Laura's going drawn in today as well. Don't want Laura and Emily said driving the big trailer because there's a lot of weight on them and they haven't that much experience. And I know there's no harm to stop for a small bit once, let the combine cool down a bit. And I was lucky enough the other day, a neighbour bought 40 tonnes, so he drew that away and took the pressure off. When you have to stop and go off and empty the trailers, takes time. So lads will be saying to me that come over, say why don't I get this and get that and make it all quicker. There's no big panic. 2 or 3 days and it's all finished and nothing broke. If you get new lads in, unless they're fairly handy, you end up spending more time in the workshop than you do cutting corn. So the way it works now is I'm in no panic. I love that, and got a good bit of grief this year with the combine, but hopefully that's sorted now. And some of it my own fault. I should have went through it a bit better. It was something that I normally do, but I took it out, give it a quick run over, because I parted in the shed. It was going okay, and I cut the first, I suppose, 35 acres, and it was okay, and then it started giving bother. So it's okay now again, and hopefully get finished up. I still have hay out in the field, but I'll get that hay now when the corn is over. Now you would be tired, because you're starting early to get jobs done, take it off cutting corn, and then you're emptying trailers late at night and in early in the morning as well, into our own silos. And that's it. Now price of corn is good this year, so we'll have some sold to the co-op as well. We haven't as much corn as last year, but I think I nearly have as much grain as I haven't as much hectares sowed, but I nearly have as much grain this year with less ground, so I can't complain there. And the prices are good, and weather is good, and we still have grass. Now if this heat kit, we're promised the next 10 days with no rain, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be cutting the last of the clover, and then that's all the moors harvest totally finished. So then it's a few days to get ready, bring back some cows. That's getting calving. It'll be starting in 3 weeks' time. So I have to clean out the sheds, disinfect them, and there's weanlings in the shed. They got their second vaccination last week, so they're ready to go next week. And so the sheds will be empty where the cows go. We usually let the heifers in at night into the shed, and we hopefully have a camera for the cows out the back, one of the back fields. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to setting up the cameras and the calving. I always look forward to calving, and hopefully it goes okay. Now I'll be showing you now what I'll be doing with the cows from now to calving in the next video, hopefully. And that's it. So another day at the combine. Have to blow out the radiator on the combine, so I have to take off that wheel, give it a bit of a check over. Very hot days and very dusty. So I have our compressor here and our generator, because sometimes I do it twice a day. They get so everything that's in this Land Rover is left in it. So I have just a Stanley electric compressor and a Stanley generator. Have them about 7 or 8 years now, and one pull of the thing and off she goes. So very seldom I take out the generator unless I'm stuck for room. There's 2 outlets on it. I think the 2 of them cost €300. They were on a sale in a hardware place. Luke used to have one on the back of his Jeep as well when he was here. He has it back in Ireland now and he's still using them. So that's it. I have to take off that big wheel of yoke just to blow the radiator from this side. Just doing it from the other side, you'd notice it after a couple of hours. The combine will be getting hot. If I do this now, I'd get it to stay going till about 4 o'clock. So corn looks pretty good. Laura's coming over now on the other tractor in a few minutes. It's very clean, yielding okay. Nice bit of straw now. It's a lot cleaner than the last field you seen, but the other one wasn't done with Roundup. And yeah, there's about 16 acres there now today, and one more field to move to then, and that's it. So we'll get at this and see. Okay, we're here, nearly finished this field. Laura's gone off with a load of corn there now. Emily is here, requested by John Kerwin in Burr to see more of Emily in the videos. That's her brother. Emily's going around looking at the cattle now, and she's bringing over some diesel here to me. And hopefully we'll get on to the other field in about another hour or two. And that's all I think.
And hopefully we make it back to watch the All-Ireland Galway playing Kerry.
Has to be neutral to start, clutch. Oh yeah. That hand goes into the red.
Stop overheating.
If you don't go too hard, that's all. First, second, third, then the fourth, and that's it. That should be correct. So go that way.
hot out, but I made it back okay. I think I went the way they told me, because we went the way that you don't normally drive there, because when you drive in a car the way we go, it's very, very narrow, the road, and there's a lot more cars in it than the road I just went. Didn't meet a soul. The best part about driving a tractor on a Sunday is there are barely any cars on the road. So like I said, I think this is the grain for the seed for next year. So we're putting that into bags, and then Dad is just finishing up filling the blue trailer now on the back of the TM165, and he'll be bringing that back, but that's for grain. So that's going to be going up into the loft. So I will also show you, if I haven't shown you already, how we order it up into the bins up in the loft where we grind the corn. And yeah, this is a very, very hot day, so I'm going to go get the dinner on now for whenever they get back. And luckily the tractor didn't overheat. I was getting worried at times, but with this heat you just never know. So I am here and we are on the very last field. So it is the field of Triticale. All of the wheat is done. So the last field I didn't actually get to put up the drone and show you any of that. I think Dad had a few problems in there. So yeah, just between the combine overheating a bit. And yeah, so I didn't get to film that, but I'm going to throw up the drone now and film this. He's already done a few rounds, so I'm going to get him to talk about it, tell you how it's going here.
So, we're here in our Triticale field. Last year this field wasn't hectic at all. The wild boar attacked it. Now there is a wet spot over there. Didn't grow too well there, but the rest of it, look at the straw. There's lots of straw, and if you look at the height of it, you know, and it's yielding pretty well. Now it doesn't yield as good as wheat, but you don't feed as much of it because it's a lot richer. And we stopped growing it a few years ago, well, a good few years ago, because when we had more goats, it was hard. The goats didn't agree with it at all. It used to make it very runny, and we just stopped. We stuck with the wheat. And why we stopped at the barley was because it was clashing with the hay. It was coming in very early, and then if you got excuse me, if you got storms, all the heads would fall off it. Now over here they call this a survival crop. It's a great crop to clean ground because it grows real high, and the straw is not fully as good as wheat, but it's okay. And but you have heaps of straw. So look, my head is on the combine is only 4 meters 8, and look at the heap of straw of it. So now what a lot of the French do is, now there is some bits of wheat there. What the French do a lot, and I did it a few, I hope to do it next year, is mix it with wheat, because the Triticale is up here and the wheat is down here, and you get a lot better yields, and one seems to help the other, because it's very hard. It's very seldom you'll see, no matter what weather you get, that Triticale lodges, because it's real strong and tough. Now there's another corn as well. It's called seg. I don't know the proper name anywhere else, but it grows to around there. Now we thought we could head to film the neighbour's field, and he has it mixed with wheat and Triticale and the seg, but it's very hard to combine it. That's the only problem. And but it's a pure survivor altogether. Now you can't mix Triticale and wheat, or not wheat, barley, because barley comes in earlier, so one will be ripened, the other wouldn't, and you can't mix them that way. You can mix wheat and Triticale, no problem. And now as well as that, when you're sowing some of the peas, Triticale is good because it's strong enough to hold the peas to crawl up along it. So I'm really happy with this, and we hope to sow 2 fields next year with it. And we're going using our own seed as well this year, because seed is there. And that's all I can say. Now it's not as hot today, and things is going okay so far. So we just have this, 14.5 acres here, and that's us finished for the year. So that's it.